Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we're gonna be working on this Daihatsu Hijet Kei Truck. We've had this Kei Truck up for sale now for about 2 months and it hasn't sold, so I decided that we're gonna go ahead and just mess around with it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it. So I have all this leftover wrap from when I wrapped my race car, so I decided that we're gonna go ahead and wrap the Kei Truck, maybe paint the bed, paint the wheels, do some stuff to it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to strip pretty much everything that we can. Again, this is not gonna be a professional wrap job or anything like that. It's just kind of something I decided to do last minute. So we're gonna go ahead and remove pretty much the mirrors, the wipers, get rid of the antenna. These window visors will come off, probably all the latches and stuff like that. Just anything that we can get out of the way to make the wrap easier, we'll go ahead and do that. The mirrors need to come off anyways, they're broken. This is pretty common in Kei trucks. They tend to break right here. So we got new ones that we're gonna put on. All right, so we're gonna get the wipers off. Pretty simple. Just take this clip off, undo this nut on both sides. And then you should be able to just pull the wipers right off. So yeah, that was pretty simple. Next we're gonna go ahead and do the mirrors. They're pretty easy also. You just wanna pop this cover off right here. Then in here we're gonna have these 3 bolts. You just remove the 3 bolts and the mirror comes off. All right, so we got the mirror off. Just do the same thing on the other side, and that's it for that. The next thing we're gonna do is gonna be the emblem up here. Pretty easy to get off. You can use fishing line and dental floss and stuff like that. We do have this little emblem removal tool. All right, so we got the emblem off. It did leave behind a bunch of stuff, so we're gonna use some glue gun and whatnot and get that off. And then when we put it back on, we just use 3M tape, put it in the bag, and put it back where it goes. All right, so we got the visors off as well. They also left a bunch of stuff behind, so we're gonna work on that. These things are pretty hard to get off. They've been on there for a long time. All right guys, so it's the next day. It got pretty dark last night, so I couldn't record everything, but we got everything prepped pretty much and ready to at least wrap the cab. So we're gonna work on that today, and let's see how far we can get it. And like I said before, this is by no means a professional wrap job. This is just something we're trying to knock out as quickly as we can without really taking everything apart. Normally you want to take off as much as you can, all the trims and things like that. So we're just gonna work around it and just try to do the best we can. All right, so we pretty much got everything cut. We're only missing the doors. We're gonna do that at the end because they're pretty big. So we're just gonna cut that from the main roll to make sure we have a large enough piece. And then also the roof, we'll do that at the end. So we're gonna start with the front and just kind of work our way around. Alright, so we got a lot of this done already. Didn't really record everything, but here it is so far. We got the whole passenger side and the front done, and then a little bit on the driver's side. Up next, we're gonna do the roof and then finish the driver's side, and then we'll move on to the bed. Alright guys, so we finished wrapping pretty much the whole cab. Came out pretty good. I did put the new mirrors on, put the emblem back on, we did the windshield banner. We haven't really been recording everything just because I haven't had time. I've pretty much just been doing it every day after work, just doing a little bit. So we got the whole cab done, but yeah, we ended up running out of material, so we still have the bed. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. I'll probably just end up ordering another roll, since I'm gonna need it anyways for my Spec Miata race car. So whenever that gets here, I guess we'll do the rest. But the cab came out pretty good. And yeah, whenever we get the rest of the roll, we'll work on the bed and we'll see how that comes out. So until then, thank you guys for watching. If you guys could like, share, and subscribe, that would be great. Like I said in my other video, I'm trying to get the channel to grow a little bit, so I'm hoping some of this other content that I'm doing, helps me do that. And whenever the rest of the wrap gets here, we'll go ahead and tackle the rest of it and do another video then. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one.